morning.
I'm just trying to secretly close my hit my focus so everything won't beep.
Yeah, don't we love it when phone calls go off and
The door. Somebody comes to my door in like 10 seconds ago, and I have to rush up the stairs.
Yeah, I know. Hang on, I'm just about to go live, and then someone calls down. I'm like, 1 sec.
It's funny because I obviously everyone knows my situation. I think that's following the show, and so when the door is always open for the personal care workers and stuff to come in, and when somebody is new, they don't know that, so they knock. Like, oh. So, anyways,
hello.
And I feel naked today because I have no sometimes there's things that like I always have earrings on, right? And I have no earrings on today because I put a necklace on and then I forgot to put the earrings on. So anyway, so I feel a little naked and a little confused because people are coming at me from every direction. But other than that,
good morning.
Hey, I need. This is only coffee number 1, so I need about 4 of them today. You too, right? No sleep last night. Is there a retrograde or something going on?
I don't know. There's just I've been struggling with sleep. Just the last 2 nights, I slept great. I'm in Halifax this week, and first couple of nights, no problem. And then I didn't sleep one night, and now I'm having a hard time getting back on track. But
I don't. And I was doing so well, and I was taking my, my weed gummies, my sleepy weed gummies to make me sleep, and they were great, and they were working. No THC, they were just CBN. And then last night, I had like half a glass of wine of one I've never had before, and I had a sneezing congestion fit. You can still hear it in my. You can hear my sinuses; they're all plugged up. I assume it's the wine. But that's what happens when you open a bottle you've never had before.
Well, sometimes it can work, but it is a reality. Like I remember like way back, my friend becoming allergic to beer. Yeah. And she thought it was the worst thing ever. And I know you have some issues with certain types of wine. Sure. And it's just, but unfortunately you haven't been able to find the thing. Because if it was the thing, you could look in the bottle and find out does it have the thing.
I thought it was Zins a lot. I thought it was Zinfandels, and then I tried it again. It wasn't Zins. This was a cab blend, so I guess I just don't like blends.
Maybe
I'm like a purebred kind of person. So I'm going to have to. I don't like those, mixing it all together thing. Let me just have the pure.
Exactly. So that's what you need to focus on.
Now here's the dilemma. Anyone listening, we're talking about wine this morning. Here's the dilemma. I open a bottle. I've had this much. It was actually very good. It tasted delicious. But now, what do I do with it? Do I just suck it up and be congested for the next week?
Well, but that's not good either.
No, but it's crazy. I don't want to give it up. I guess I could cook something tonight with it. Oh, but then that still doesn't. Maybe if I cook it, whatever.
Anybody have any suggestions? That would be great.
I don't want to throw it out, right?
I know it's hard, but again, if it's not going to make you feel good,
I know. It kind of makes you feel good. And you feel no good. Like it's the same. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, my fault. That's what you get for buying a wine you don't know because you happen to be in the grocery store and they sell wine in there now.
Well, you just have to be careful. Because sometimes trying something new works out really well, right? Like I didn't have this before. I'm trying something different. You try it and you're like, wow, this is like fantastic. This is the best thing I've ever had. Blah, 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 blah. So it can work out to your benefit.
It is. Not today. Not today. Anyway.
But that's okay.
How's Halifax? Good?
It is. It's finally sunny.
Good.
That's okay. No, it's good.
Good. Okay. Good. Well, I yesterday was an interesting day because I was trying to get all my work done, obviously, and start my taxes because I haven't done any of that.
The taxes.
And it's like I'm one of those people that puts it in a bag and waits till the end of the year. And then
you're that person.
And everything is in the bag, like things that I can't expense or anything. And so So it takes me a day to sort and then a day to enter. And I tried really hard last year to, have a nice file. It says 2022. And I started putting my stuff in there, and I would print my statements, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go on and enter them in every month. And it lasted 1 month. And then the world got in the way. And I completely forgot that I started doing that.
Well, what I did the same thing. So this is what happens to me every year. Every year in sort of the end of March, April, I get caught up. But so the beginning of last year, I have up until March because I do a full year of entering and all of that kind of stuff. So I do my own bookkeeping. So then I catch up on. So I'll probably do it like this weekend. Or beginning of next week. I'll get it all entered, and I'll enter it up to, and then I'm like, I'm going to stay on top of it. Every month, I'm going to go in and I'm going to enter in all of my expenses. And that never happens.
Never. And we're very, very good at being accountable for everything, and we teach it, and we have our students be accountable. And I can be accountable for absolutely everything but this.
I'm the same way. Yeah, I just can't. Because it's just, to me, it goes to the bottom of the priority list because I don't have to. If I had somebody I needed to give it to every month, that's a different conversation, but I don't. And the only person that's going to be impacted by me not doing it is me.
Yeah.
So now I'm in the same situation that you are. And now I have to do an entire year's worth. And it's going to take a little bit longer. But again, I'm the same way. I can be accountable to everything. I'm good. You tell me to do something, I'm on top of it. I put things in my schedule. I'm organized, but not when it comes to taxes.
Well, I think most entrepreneurs, and for you financial people, if any accountants or bookkeepers are watching, you can probably relate. But entrepreneurs are notoriously following the shiny ball. And we're always coming up with new ideas, and we like to, put things out there, and we will work, 24/7 on doing landing pages and funnels and doing free training and live events, and no problem. But ask us to do, our bookkeeping, and we feel like you've asked us to, put, 500 pounds on our back and walk uphill.
Don't make me do it. So I know that there's lots of, we give the advice of if there's something that's on your plate that you don't want to do, you don't like to do, there are people out there that you can hire to do that.
Right.
Absolutely. My challenge,
organize it.
Right. And I actually don't mind doing it. No. Because I know I'll just do it all at once. So I think I just need to reserve to the fact that this is now what I'm going to be doing. Yeah. I will now do my taxes once a year, and I will now enter everything. So I don't mind doing it. I don't feel it's something that I hate so much that I would outsource that to a virtual assistant or something along those lines. I don't hate it that much. Right. I just procrastinate on it.
I hate it that much.
Okay.
But I just don't, I'm not organized enough on that. I'm organized in everything else in my life except for that. And before you guys come say, well, you need to be, and I am. I understand. I know my bills. I understand everything. I just don't like to enter them anywhere except for a bag. So yeah. I know what I mean. I know what my monthly is. I know what I'm doing. I get all of that. I just don't want to. So I get it. We can, there's bookkeepers that you can put it in a bag and hand it to them, but that's really old school, old days. Yeah. Now even bookkeepers expect you, and tell us if we're wrong, but most bookkeepers expect you to at least enter it into like a free account, like Wave, or what's the other free one? Xero or something. I can't remember.
There's lots of free ones. Even I know some, you can even put it into a spreadsheet, just put it somewhere so that it's electronically able to be sent.
Right. And that's so last year, and that's what I did. That's what you probably do too. At the end of the year when I'm doing it, like now I'm entering into a program, and then my accountant just tells me to print the reports. He doesn't want to see anything else. So right. I'm like, okay. So I just print the reports when they're done. And I didn't even know how to do that last year to tell me. I'm like, well, where do I get those? And I'm tech savvy.
I go one step. I enter in everything, and they just go into the program, and they can pull what they need for it. Well, so I just need to get it in there.
Yeah. Well, it depends on which program you're using, right? And
Exactly.
Which accountant, because like most accountants want you to do QuickBooks, and it's a little too complicated for me to do QuickBooks. So I just use an inexpensive thing. I don't even know what it is. Anyway, that's crazy. We digress.
Our complaint of the morning.
Yeah, it's because it's tax time and nobody likes to do taxes except for accountants and bookkeepers who are making a lot of money right now.
Like, yes, it's tax season. And they do. They have a very short period of time, especially people who, like us, we do it once a year, and they make a lot of money and they work a lot of hours. But again, they work just this amount of time. They do a lot of other stuff all year round.
Absolutely.
But when it comes to taxes specifically, they do it they do it once a year. So
it's interesting that, like we all have stuff. Some people like it. They love to do all this stuff, right? Even when you're not an accountant, they like to do their numbers, and they find what I call tedious work. And I know someone that loves tedious work. She loves it. She likes entering things. And I was like, ew. Like I had to set up for a client last week. I had to set up their payroll and a bunch of stuff that they asked me to do because they didn't know how to do it. And it was like torture, because it was fine. Like I'm very good getting a new thing, setting up the system. But then you actually want me to input stuff. It's like, you really need to give this to somebody else now. Because I did all the hard work. I negotiated the price. I got you really great software. I got everything set up for your company, but I'm not really a data entry kind of person.
I used to be in corporate. I did a lot of data entry. I did a lot of different things when I was in corporate. But I remember doing reports and taking all the data, and I do love statistics to be honest. And that's why we're very focused on understanding what we teach in regards to knowing your numbers, making sure that you understand everything. I love analytics. So we go back, what campaigns are working, what ads are working, what social media is working. Like we look at all of that stuff, and I'm on top of it. However, if you were to ask me to write a report on it right now, because I've gotten away from it, a little bit more difficult. And I feel like that's what I'm doing. I feel like I just need to hunker down. Maybe what I'll do is, that's a good idea. I wonder if I could do it on the plane. No, I can't because I need internet access. I was like, that would be the perfect time.
You can get it, right? It doesn't cost that much, does it?
I don't know. It might be worth it.
It might be if you just, like you get now. I traveled so much on planes. That was my whole life for 15 years. And I just found that you had to figure out how to do some work because, I had long flights because I was going to Asia, but you couldn't just you couldn't watch. I was done with 4 movies and a book, and you couldn't do it.
Right. Yeah. You had to figure out.
You have to load up your stuff so that you can actually do something and feel useful when you're on the plane. Otherwise, good for everyone that can relax and sleep. I couldn't do it. I think it's awesome if you can. But
I think it depends. Sometimes I can. It just depends on my sort of headspace. Sometimes I kind of think I will be in work mode, and I get there and I'm like, you know what, I'm just not feeling it, and I'm not going to force it. And other times I'm like, oh my goodness, I could write 4 blogs and articles and all of that kind of stuff. But so what I will do on the plane, if I'm not able to get onto the internet, is we have our podcast Mastermind starting next week. And I'm going to work and finish. I've got most of them done, but I'm going to finish the slides because at least that I don't need internet access for.
Well, we actually have several things next week.
Yes, we do have several things next week, but that's the one I really need to focus on the plane.
The first of the month for us, for those of you in our community. And if you haven't joined the community, you can just go to the mastermind.city. You'll see some links to be able to join for free. So you'll get into some of the free training that we do. We're doing free training next week. And we also are starting. So next week's a busy week. We start the podcast mastermind for our premium students. We start our visibility mastermind next week, which is an overview of the whole course. We do we have our book club. We have our master training. We have so much going on next week. So if you are not a member yet, join for free. And again, just join the community and you can at least join us in our free training next week. And some of the other stuff, we have our networking as well. So best time to join the community is the first week of the month because there's just so much coming at you.
Yeah. And then we also have, actually, I'm going to the wrong place here. One sec. We also have our welcome on Monday. So that's always a good one because people sort of have questions and they come and they're like, let's, show me around. What is this all about? How can I access all of the different things that are going on? And I'm excited because I get to share some changes that we're making within the community to make it easier for everybody. So again, we love people who join us early as they come in as beta testers.
Yeah.
So our founding members have come in as beta, and that's and we're actually part of a beta team. We actually met yesterday, and I know we've talked about a lot about this before, but that's why our membership was so inexpensive in the beginning, was because they were giving us feedback, and we're making a couple of changes based on their feedback. So we thank you to our beta testers.
We're changing things. So next week you'll see it's a much easier flow and easier to manage, and just even more for our members. So if you have kind of been, dipping your toe in our water and you haven't, and you really want to, next week we start again the Visibility Mastermind. It's perfect time to join. Yeah. So if you want to DM us, you can still get in, and founders only for this week, because next week when everything changes, it will be full price and won't be any more founding members. So if you want to do that, again, DM us, and we can certainly push you into a page where you can access the premium membership for founders pricing. So that's really something that if you're kind of on the fence, now's the time, because we can't. Once we're prime next week, we have a bunch of new things that we're going to be launching as well within our community. You're going to want to be there as a founding member, so you don't have to, spend triple, quadruple the amount that you would as a founding member, right?
Exactly. And again, we love hearing the feedback. So again, thank you to our founding members who have told us, this works, this doesn't, I understand this could be better here.
Yeah.
We love that.
Part of it, just so everyone understands, we're beta, it's great. And we did the best we could, as at the time, but now we've got feedback, and coincidentally, our software provider has given us some updates that we can actually streamline things. So it happens. You just don't know. You have to, we constantly talk about tech here and telling you to go back to your programs and see what's new, constantly check their roadmaps, right? Then see what they've, because you will miss some of the emails that come out, but every single company out there has a roadmap that tells you what's coming. And when you know that, so rather than, we were planning to make some changes this week, right? And it was just total coincidence that at the same time they released this stuff. So had we done it, had we made all these, tried to make changes without realizing what the new stuff was, we would have been kicking ourselves, because we would have spent a week doing it and then realized, oh, we could have done it another way, which was way easier. So
exactly.
Always. Yeah. It's really important. And then this weekend as well, Shay Marvell is doing her Optimism Masterclass, and it's live. So anyone that's watching here can join and have access. So you're going to want to do that. Just go to the mastermind.city/optimism masterclass, one word. And then I think that's the link. And you can join us there as well on Saturday. It's an 1.5-hour workshop masterclass. Really exciting for people who feel like they're, maybe in a lot of chaos, and they're kind of not seeing things in their best possible light, and they want to be able to break through that and change and make things better in their lives. This is the class for you, and it's free. So you're going to want to join us.
Yeah, I'm excited about that one. I'm excited. And where are you going this weekend? I thought you said something.
Yeah, I'm speaking at the Canadian Franchise Association, their national convention. It's in Niagara Falls this year. And we're having a panel discussion on the integration of automation and AI with human involvement. So it's an interesting topic. It's on point right now because everyone's worried. Both of us embrace AI and automation. We love it. So, you know what side I'm on. But there is that very distinct, there has to be some human involvement. You can't just, we talked to a few people that were like, oh, we're developing this and we don't want to have to ever talk to people. And that's never going to happen. You actually have to have some human
interaction somewhere, somehow.
Yeah. Even though it's really hard, and for those of you who probably tried to get into, tried to talk to somebody in customer service in any company, now you have to literally jump through hoops before you can talk to a human, right? And there's just like that keeps giving you bot answers, and so that's some of the frustration, the problems with automation and AI, because you can't rely on it solely. So you can't think just because I taught my bot to answer these questions, people will be happy. They're not. They want to talk to a human, whether it's a chat human, right? Or, on the phone or physical, whatever it is. There has to be someone that is capable of being able to answer a question for you. On the flip side of that, there's a lot of people in customer service that can't answer a question for you.
Maybe that would be better.
So exactly. It's just an interesting dynamic right now that everything is changing, including our stuff. Like, we're also very focused on bringing some of that learning in. So as we, for example, part of our visibility mastermind, I teach the speaking impact mastermind, and it's really all about being able to speak anywhere, in a networking group, on stage, selling on the stage, talking in, if you're a management professional, delivering a deck for the board, whatever it is. But here's what's interesting. So I have to add a segment to that pillar now, because I have to add how AI can help you design your speaking, right?
Right.
And it's the same with all of the pillars. Like we need to, I guess, do a specific AI masterclass within some of our masterminds and our training to say, embrace this. This will make your life easier, right? You still have to understand structure and impact and all of those things. The AI can't do that for you, but it can certainly help you start.
Well, and you've always said too that like in regards to the AI, in regards to pulling information, you said there still needs to be the correct input of information in order to get the output that you want.
Yeah.
It still can't read your mind.
No, and you have to learn how to do that. Now, I will say, we're going to go down an AI rabbit hole, but I will say there's some really cool, again, we have to do this class, Stacy. There's some really good prompt extensions that you can add in. So if you are, let's go back to basics. If you use ChatGPT and what started all OpenAI, if you use that, you can add an extension that's a prompt extension. What does that mean? So instead of, if you really can't figure out questions, it will actually, there's a bunch you can choose from, right? So it might be like, write a video script, blah, 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 blah. So you use that prompt, you click it, and you just fill in the blank, and then it asks the proper question. So, but you again have to understand, some of the little tweaks and things that you have to do. So, lots of really cool things. If you haven't played with it, I'm always shocked. I talked to someone yesterday who's has an agency, and they're pretty well versed in everything marketing, and they haven't really done anything on it. And I was shocked, because as a marketing professional, that's the first thing that I would do, right? Is like, hold on, I should know what this is for my clients and how to integrate it into my offering to them, right? Because if somebody doesn't know, I'm, given that I'm well versed, I'm not going to hire somebody that I don't think is up to speed on it, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I also think that, sort of to take that, and I think the other issue with the human interaction can actually sometimes be worse than the AI, is that when you ask a question of an AI bot or a chat bot or whatever the case may be, and that's, kind of old technology now almost, which is weird to say, you know, you get the specific answer.
Right.
They don't try to continue to explain when you've already asked that question and you already have your answer. Now you've moved on to the next part, where unfortunately we had a situation yesterday where we were talking to somebody, not you and I, but I was with somebody else, and we were talking to somebody, and I asked a question and they gave me their answer. And then I said, well, actually, I want to go this route. But they continued to talk to me about all of the options and continued over here. And then I was like, but no, we don't need this option any longer, and tried to redirect her, going, this is the direction we want to go. We've already made this. There's two choices, sort of fork in the road. And then she goes, but I want to make sure you have all the options. And she continued. I'm like, but I don't want, I've already told you that I don't.
Talking.
Exactly. So like, talk to me over here. Like, we don't need to know these options. We've already made a decision. Whereas the advantage of AI and a chatbot is you don't have to deal with that.
No, you can be able to say,
right? Because sometimes people have their
own
agenda.
Are you interested? And I want this one. It's kind of like we've been really doing a lot of research on interactive video. Because we both agree that like we really enjoy it because it gives you answers quickly. So you don't have to watch a whole video. You just go to this part where this is what you're interested in. It's kind of like when you're on YouTube, you know, and you're asking, you know, you're looking for some how to do something, and then you kind of fast forward the beginning, right? Because you don't want to listen to them. You just want to get to the part where like, how do I fix it? So there's a lesson for you guys as well. If you're doing a video or anything like that on YouTube, don't start with a bunch of crap about yourself. Nobody's interested. You know what I mean?
True.
Give the value, and then talk about yourself, because if they know that you gave good value, then they will look to see what else you do. But if you didn't give good value up front, it's fascinating to me that people just you know, they don't get it. So I got to tell you one I meant to send it to you, but I lost it. It was very late last night. It was like 2 a.m. when I couldn't sleep. So I was on, I had an Instagram reel, and it was an ad. And we watch, so you guys know, we actually watch a lot of ads because we want to see what people are doing. So this girl came up, and she started talking about this strategy that she uses. And I was like she right away didn't talk about her, don't know who she is, nothing. Like boom, 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 like for like 20 seconds. And it was really interesting. And she's like, and so I call it, and then the opt-in comes up. And you have to opt in to hear the rest of the video, right? Okay. So, but here's the thing. I would have never in the past, and I would never opt in because, you know, it's like, it's not me. I like to watch but because she was so informative in the beginning, and I wanted to know what she said, even though I knew it wasn't going to be anything earth-shattering, right? I just thought, there is somebody that's really done it well. She gave really good information right up front, and I can't imagine very many people not giving her the email.
Well, good for her. That's I think I do like the creativity that people are coming up with. So yesterday I received this email on LinkedIn. Sort of somebody had connected with me on LinkedIn, and their first question to me was, she's like, okay, now let's get down to serious business. Which superpower would you like to choose? Would you have for your work? Teleportation, time control, or mind reading? I'm like, okay, not necessarily earth-shattering question.
But it was a pattern interrupt there.
Exactly. But it made me stop, because normally it's thanks so much for connecting, opt into my whatever. I'd like to connect over here, join my whatever. Here's how to connect with me. I'd like to book a call. Like, all of them are all the same. And I was kind of scrolling through the different messages, and I'm like, oh. So I stopped and I thought about it. I'm like, oh, well, which one would I like? So I just kind of sent her a note, and I said, good for you. I said, you made me stop. I gave her my answer, but I just said, you know what? I'm used to, this is the typical script that people use because people sell it. So I just said, you know what? To get me to stop, good for you.
Yeah. And that's why, you have to, that's why we always recommend constantly start, watching and seeing, and ask yourself, what got you, right? This video got me, her mail got you. Like you have to, for people to get us is hard because we don't really, we'll stop and because we're interested in something or we'll watch to see what they're doing. But to actually truly be interested, like I was truly interested in what she had to say because she started off so strong that it was like, wow, okay. And it was just a really great learning because like it's harder and harder, as we know, to get noticed right now with all the noise and all the channels. That's why we're starting the Visibility Mastermind next week. And that's what it's focused on is your visibility, right? It's focused on getting you visible through lots of different mediums, through podcasts and speaking and video and digital product creation. So it's a big one. It's our foundation. It's our core of what we do. We love to do this mastermind. So if you are not getting noticed or you think that people aren't watching you, and keep this in mind, you don't need a lot of followers to get noticed. What you just need is the right followers to get noticed. So you don't need 50,000 followers. You need, you might only need 1,000. That's all you need. You might only need 500 if you're really niche, right? Yep. So like everyone has the possibility. It's just a matter of understanding the tools and how to design what you're pushing out there. And that's what we're going to do starting next week for 16 weeks, I think, right?
Yep.
Correct?
Yep. Exactly.
But in 16 weeks, if you join us, in 16 weeks, you're going to have your message clear. You're going to know how to speak it. You're going to have a podcast live, right? You're going to have a YouTube channel or videos ready to go, and you're going to create a digital product. So all of that in 16 weeks, that's insane. So if you are finally committed and you're looking outside, for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere, and you're realizing that, it's finally getting nice out, I would like to, get away from, hiding in a blanket under snow-covered hills and try to start my, really start off the spring fresh, like, spring forward. Then this is your time. 16 weeks starts next Wednesday. You don't want to miss this. Now you can join us like anytime because you can obviously watch the replays and you interact with us every single week. So we have live coaching and live hot seats all week long. But if you can, again, if you need more information, just reach out to either one of us or go to the mastermind.city and you'll be able to find all the information on the Visibility Mastermind there.
I'm just going to put that on the screen. So wrong one. Okay. Oh, okay. I don't have it. The mastermind.city. I was going to put it on the screen, but I can't.
Check out Masterminds. You can go to the Mastermind tab. You'll see Visibility Mastermind. Click on it. It'll tell you everything there is about it. Here's the good news. Again, like you guys heard, our founders, just until this week, our founder pricing is still there for right now for this week. So if you want to join, you can join and get this. For that little founder pricing, you get all of our masterminds year round. So you get access to live coaching every single week for the rest of the year, for 52 weeks, not rest of the year, for 52 weeks, your year, whatever.
Yeah, your year. Yeah.
That you sign up for. But you're also going to get your podcast produced by Stacy. She's going to get it on the air for you. And there's just so much to unbundle. So as I said, if you've been sitting on the fence, now's your time.
Now's your time.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good one. And we will see you here.